the Edge Outdoors. It's a windy one again. Sunday afternoon. Flood assessment part 2. We're gonna make our way to that south end. Hang on with me, here we go. That wind's howling today, man. A lot of dust coming off there. The only good part about this wind is it's going to help us with the mosquitoes, so at least I think. I don't know if there's much that will help with those mosquitoes. But, all right, we're headed in. All right, we have arrived at the land. Made it across the dust. That was crazy. I should have had the camera rolling. Got even a little dustier as I got across there and started kicking up dust as well. So as you saw, I got the mower with me today. We did not get a chance last Sunday to check out the south plot at all, so you're going to follow along with me on that, and you're going to see it as I do, much like last week. I have with some clethodim and some mossy oak biologic clover fertilizer. I've got it mixed up. Going to spray the south plot as well today, as long as it's not too mushy. I mean, that could change, but having that mixed up in there is not going to hurt a thing. So I'm going to keep moving here. A little bit of a time crunch today, nothing new there. And we're going to see what it looks like to the south. And then I got some trail cameras that we need new batteries in. This wind has been wreaking havoc on them as far as the trees moving and everything else. So we're going to roll on in. So we've made our way to the south plot. Man, that dust is rolling over there. And it's not, I don't know, it's not great news, but this south plot was under much longer than our main plots. This is on the south end of the farm. There's a creek off to my east here that backs up along with the river flooding, so this gets covered really quickly. It stays under the longest on the property as well. But with all that being said, this was under, I'm going to say it was 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. And if you look, at first glance, it looks like, oh man, this thing's cooked. But if you look down in really low, the biologic clover is coming back, but we're going to go ahead and spray this today. I'm not going to mow it. I'm going to go in and spray it. It's got a lot of grass around it. I want to kill that grass, so I want to leave it somewhat some length to it so the spray has something to stick to. You can see, because I couldn't get down here last week, the nastiness of the big leaves of clover but while it doesn't look quite as good as, holy smokes, doesn't look quite as good as how the main food plots bounced back. The main food plots were only under for a week. So this is still encouraging though. I may come in here with some more Clover Plus seed, or, well, probably just Clover Plus. I would think, because half of this I'm gonna end up tilling under in August anyway, so it's just a cover. But I always leave clover in this one section that's really bouncing back. So I'm gonna run the mower back up, get the UTV, spray this. I also remembered to bring the granular down to get some fertilizer on the main plots. So roll with me here as I go through the rest of Sunday in the land. And while this is a bit of a bummer, all in all, it's not too bad for how long it was under. So All right, so we are going to abandon the mower. I mowed just a little bit, the trails down there and in front of one camera just to keep the weeds out of the camera. And it's just so wet. Basically, I just need to let that dry out before I open up any access trails or anything like that. So we're gonna switch gears now. We're gonna head for the main food plots. I have the lawn spreader. I have 13 granular fertilizer. We're gonna go ahead and put that down, bounce around to some cameras that need batteries, as I said, and then we're gonna spray that south end, and then we're gonna get out of here. So make our way into the main food plots. It's gonna be interesting to see what we have after 1 week of, that was 7 days ago, that was last Sunday, revamping the food plots. So gonna head in and we'll see what we got. Well, just as I thought, because it won't quit raining here in eastern Iowa, some four-wheel driving again. I really don't like doing this, but it's a bit of a necessity this year. Almost looks as though this is silted in some with our flooding thus far, which is fine with me because it'll raise things up a little bit. And we're to the floorboards. Well, we're through. No problem for the Ranger, but I've went through a lot deeper, as you've seen before. Just getting a little tired of that. I yearn for the days of when that was just a dry crossing. So maybe one of these days we'll dry out. It's such a big switch from last year where I couldn't buy a 1/4 inch of rain, and now it won't stop. So all right, I hope the camera does that some justice, but this is very, very good news. Wow, does this look great after just 1 week. I can even see down in where some of the new seeds right there have already germinated and are getting going as well. Really good at first glance. Still really mushy, still really wet. And as you can see, a little bit of the higher spots here look a little thicker. That's to be expected. They're not so drowned in with moisture. This looks really good. I'm happy about this. If we can keep the river at bay, which with the rain just a few days ago, it got up to that 12-foot mark again, and 14, this is completely submerged, and it was just already, that's teetering. That's just too close for me anymore. But as I said, it's just one of them deals. You got to kind of take it as it comes. So I don't see any pumpkin leaves yet, but they would be really, really small if we would. We'll just see how those go. If it stays down here and the pumpkins don't do anything, it'll be okay, because we'll just add in beets and winter bulbs and radishes and all that good stuff. So just gotta kind of you gotta kind of work with what Ma Nature's gonna give you. So especially in the river bottom here. But the east clover plot, now we're making our way over as you follow me and listen to me ramble. Absolutely fantastic. This is where it was super, super dead down in through here, and it is bouncing back like a champ. And as we get to the highest spot and you look across here, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And this is just with 1 week. I mean, I was telling you guys last week I was going to wait 2 weeks to give you an update, but that looks phenomenal. And since I was here and going to put some fertilizer on it anyway, thought I would update you. Almost hate walking on it. It looks so pretty, but looking sharp. So granular, because I really don't want to drive on it in this early stage of coming back and bouncing back. I just don't want to smash any of the plants down. like I said, I feel bad enough just walking on it, but that's way easier on it than the UTV. So I'm gonna make my way back now to the UTV. I'm gonna show you a little bit of how I do this with the fertilizer. Very, very simple. A lot of you have probably done it with your yard work. I put it on a light setting to start with to make sure the fertilizer lasts me, and we'll make our way over and we're gonna get that filled up. So stay tuned to the Edge Outdoors, the rambling food plotter. All right, this is just simple yard fertilizer. I mean, be careful, don't get the kind that, you know, is weed killer and stuff. That's just going to do damage. But this is a simple 13-13-13 blend, and perfect for clover, perfect for in the fall your turnips and sugar beets and winter bulbs and final forage, all those good brassicas. Simple as simple yard. Cheap spreader. I don't even know what brand this is. I've had it forever. And local farm store, lawn and garden section of any store, get you some granular fertilizer. You can order online, but you'll pay a lot for shipping. So we're going to go ahead and get this a-rolling. All right, very simple. I just want to play with my settings a little bit just to start. I can see already I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. I turned it to a 5 now, and we'll see what that does, but I'm just going to make my way back and forth with equal spread, and should be in good shape with that. All right, so I got the granular down on everything on the main clover plots. We have 2 real main clover plots here. And then you saw last week I planted what would be the south plot in the main food plot area. I seeded that with clover, and I noticed there was a lot of grass coming up. So I'm going to utilize the fertilizer and the spray that I have mixed up. Wow, was that a big mosquito. Even with the wind, the mosquitoes are doing Wapsie River type things. They're living their best life down here for certain. So I'm gonna probably wrap this episode up now. You've seen me use the sprayer out of the UTV before. If you haven't, go back a few episodes when I first sprayed this section before the floods. So can't remember exactly what that one's titled, but check that one out. That is how I go about spraying. So I'm gonna spray this. That and the south plot, not what I did with granular, but I'm real pleased with how it's bouncing back. If we can keep the rain at a minimum, or maybe get more just normal, you know, inch a week type stuff instead of 7 inches a week, we'll stay afloat down here per se. But gonna get a few trail cameras re-batteried up, and then I'm gonna get out of here. We've got a lot of fawns on the ground now and stuff, so I don't want to be down here spooking mom and everything else all the time. So, which a week at a time down here ain't so bad, especially through the summer. Mom knows what she's doing. She's got them hid. But we're gonna wrap this up. So after all in all, flood assessment of late May, early June 2024, we didn't take too large of a hit. Basically just really had to, all in all, we really only had to reseed the pumpkins. And by the way, when I was running the granular spreader, because I can't really tell where I planted the pumpkins, I did find a couple plants already popping up out of the ground. So we may be in good shape there, because I mean, I put 200 seeds in the ground, so something ought to take, and we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna wrap this up. If you would hit the like and subscribe button, you can follow along. We will be doing more flood assessment, because if you remember way back, my loyal viewers, when I did the switchgrass planting in the river bottom, like what I would call the bottom down here, and it had some time to establish, but I don't have high hopes of ooh, excuse me there. I don't have high hopes at all for that. That's submerged currently. It's been submerged a long time, so we will have a couple more assessments on, you know, what happened with flooding and how to go about that. But we'll check out our hinge cuts and stuff down in there too. So, but until next time, and I'll try and keep these coming. If the pollen doesn't get me here in the dust, sorry about that. Until next time, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family to tune in to The Edge Outdoors, and we'll see you next time. And until next time, get outdoors.